Student loan borrowers are refusing to pay back their debts, and Americans are economically fragile. Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Please also share this video with your friends. Thank you for your support. Today, I read several financial news articles. I've included links to the articles in the description below. I encourage you to read the articles to support the authors and news sources. As a private American citizen, I'd like to report and share my transformative thoughts through commentary regarding small sections of these articles that are of public interest. Today, I read an article on foxbusiness.com written by Breck Dumas titled, "Some Student Loan Borrowers Refusing to Pay Out of Protest." According to the author, millions of borrowers with existing student loans still have not made a payment since the bills resumed in October after a 3-year hiatus, and some admit they are refusing to pay out of protest. An Intelligent.com survey conducted this month of 1,000 federal student loan borrowers found that 25% said they had not made any payments at all, and 9% of those said they were holding off on paying their bills intentionally in an effort to pressure the government into canceling their debts. Well, my friends, this is a pretty small sample size, yet the findings are interesting. If these findings are truly representative of how a large portion of student loan borrowers feel, it is a bit disturbing to me. These borrowers took out these loans, and I believe they should honor their commitment to pay them back. If they are in a situation where they can't afford to pay them back, they probably qualify under Biden's SAVE plan for no payment or a reduced payment. For those who can afford to pay these loans back, I believe they should. Interest is accruing on this debt now after a 3.5-year pause. Fortunately, these people who are not making their payments right now are protected against falling into delinquency or default because of Biden's onramp program. Later this year, in October 2024, the onramp period ends. People who are still refusing to pay will fall into delinquency and eventually default. If they have a job, a portion of their wages could be garnished. If they are retired, a portion of their Social Security could be garnished. They will also be reported to credit reporting agencies. Since many people rely on credit to buy a car, buy a house, or finance their furniture, the cost to borrow that money will get more expensive once their credit gets trashed. Some may not even qualify to buy a car or a house or finance their furniture, depending on how low their credit score drops. Why risk this to make a point to the government? Do you really think they are going to cancel all of your student loan debt? In my opinion, it is highly unlikely. The author of this article went on to say, of the nearly 1 in 10 delinquent borrowers taking part in this boycott of student loan repayments, 44% said they believe their protest will lead to the cancellation of some federal student loan debt, and 28% think it is likely the boycott will convince the government to cancel all student loan debt. I think these people are probably not going to get what they are hoping for from the government. I do feel bad for some of these people who have mountains of student loan debt. Some took out these loans to attend college when they were only 18 years old. Many teenagers don't realize the future ramifications of this level of debt. Some lived a good life while in college, spending this student loan money because they thought they would land an amazing job right after graduation and start making the big bucks. Just because you graduate with a college degree doesn't mean every employer is going to roll out the red carpet and extend you a high-paying job offer. Sure, some people get lucky and that happens, but that is not the norm. A lot of people struggle to find a job in their field after graduating, especially if they picked the wrong major. Some people have to start with an entry-level job and work their way up in the company. When I was in college, I knew people who lived the high life with their student loan money. I read an article on Lend.edu written by Mike Brown titled, "Can You Use Student Loans for Spring Break?" According to the author, Lend.edu conducted a survey of 1,000 student loan borrowers who are currently enrolled at a 4-year college to find out how many are using student loan money to help pay for their spring break trips this year. The survey found that 56.78% of current college students who have taken out student loan debt and are going on spring break this year are using their loan money to help pay for their fun-filled excursions. Like I said earlier, I knew people who did this back when I was in college. This is nothing new. Life is fun when you are spending someone else's money until you have to start paying it back. When I was in college, I always wondered why my fellow students needed a spring break vacation. For me, college was way easier than working at a factory, which I did for 2 years to save up money to go to college. Standing on a concrete floor all day wearing steel-toed boots and getting covered in cutting fluid that was misting in the air while sweating like crazy since there was no air conditioning inside the factory was not fun. In college, I got to sit comfortably in an air-conditioned classroom and learn interesting information and be around other young people who I had common interests with. This was a lot better than being in a lunchroom at the factory with a bunch of ex-cons sharing prison stories or sitting next to the guy who had a snake in his basement that was so large he was afraid to go down there. He would just throw food down the stairs. I never felt like I needed to go on spring break. A break from what? I felt like I was at Disney World when I was in college. I wish these student loan borrowers the best. I hope some of them come to their senses and start paying back the money owed before October 2024 so that their credit scores are not impacted. I want the best for everyone. I just hate to see people making their lives more difficult in the long run. What do you think about all this? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. I read an article today on Yahoo Finance put out by Benzinga and written by Janine Mancini, titled, "Only 65.8% of U.S. households feel confident in handling an unexpected $2,000 expense. Federal Reserve reveals how economically fragile people are now." According to the author, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York's recent survey of consumer expectations reveals a concerning trend. Only 65.8% of U.S. households believe they can handle an unexpected $2,000 expense in the coming month. This figure, the lowest since 2013, indicates a decline from the previous year's average of 67.5%, making a subtle yet significant increase in perceived financial fragility among American families. Well, my friends, this is not good news from my perspective. The fact that 34.2% of people can't cover a $2,000 expense just scares me. Life in America has gotten very expensive in recent years. If you are an adult and in a position where you can't afford an unexpected $2,000 expense, you may be in serious trouble when something unexpected in life happens. Many people consider their credit card to be their go-to for an emergency. I think this is incredibly foolish. You never know if and when a credit card company may reduce your credit limit or close your account altogether. This happened to a lot of people during the great financial crisis. If we enter an ugly recession, we could see this happen again, and it may not be pretty. In my opinion, people should do their best to live far beneath their means to free up cash to build an emergency account. Some people say they can't live any further beneath their means. I am about as frugal as they come. I bet I could find ways to slash the budgets for some people. It wouldn't be fun, but it can often be done. For those who have truly slashed their budgets and are already living as far beneath their means as possible, they may want to consider taking on a part-time job to bring in extra money that can be used to build an emergency account. I understand some people work physically demanding jobs during the day and can't possibly work a part-time job. In such an instance, look for things to sell in your garage, attic, basement, closet, or storage shed. I guarantee there are items that you don't use anymore that you could sell. If you can't cover a $2,000 expense, every dollar counts. Start selling old electronics, collectibles, or plastic junk that you have laying around. I sold a bunch of old stuff that I wasn't using anymore on eBay this past month. It's really not that hard if you take great pictures, write detailed descriptions, and price the items well. I set a buy it now price and turned on the option for someone to make an offer. I priced my items in a range that was competitive. I sold everything that I listed pretty quickly. What do you think about the percentage of people who can't handle a $2,000 expense in the coming month? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Please keep in mind that everything in this video is for entertainment purposes only, and nothing in this video is financial advice or advice of any kind. If you need advice, seek advice from a qualified professional in good standing who puts your interests first and foremost. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Please also consider sharing this video with your friends. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. Check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.